Lars and the realistic sex toy is what they should have called this
Lars
movie.
and the real doll.
And the real doll. That's right, because that's what they use these things for. Now they're trying to make a nice family comedy out of a sex toy.
That's what's brilliant about it. You take something that is potentially so offensive, and you make something really nice and sweet that the whole family can enjoy.
Shit ain't sweet. Ain't nothing sweet about this.
Well, that's actually where this film gets its power, is the fact that he orders a sex doll and everybody is just like, oh my God, it's a sex doll. But he doesn't use it as a sex doll. He honestly believes it's his girlfriend. He won't even sleep under the same roof because he's so conservative and family minded. He will not sleep under the same roof with his sex doll.
Yeah.
That is what's funny about this movie.
And you're right. That is what the movie's about. Lars, as played by, what's that boy's name?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. He
In stereo. They're available.
I know. I don't tune each other. Ryan Gosling plays I'm going to say just an ill guy, mentally ill guy. At the beginning of the movie, he has some sort of disorder. He doesn't like to be around people. He doesn't like to be touched. He doesn't want to eat dinner with his family.
He's like most of the people that read our site.
Come to the site, yeah.
Well, it's funny because he's in this this Midwestern town, this small Midwestern town. That seems kind of weird, but he is so much more introverted. It was almost like it was a sequel to Napoleon Dynamite at first, because the way he's just so fidgety and withdrawn.
Yeah, no, that's the key word right there. He's so withdrawn, and you wonder what's wrong with this dude. And there's even a girl who thinks he's cute and wants to be with him, and he doesn't he's all shy, doesn't want to be around her. And then one day, the guy who shares a cubicle with him says, "Hey, man, you got to see these sex dolls that I see on the internet, and they're anatomically correct." And at first he's like, I don't want to deal with that. But then next thing you know, he's ordering one, but he's not ordering one to have sex with. As you say, he treats it very respectively and very conservatively, like a girlfriend. He's a gentleman to this doll.
Well, yeah, I mean, his family, who could never get him to come out, he comes to them with a big smile on his face, like, "Hey, my girlfriend from Brazil is here. Can we come to dinner?" They're like, "Yeah. Sure." Next scene,
she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine. And she doesn't speak much English. Well, okay.
Yeah, and pretty much, I mean,
and by not much, I mean none whatsoever.
Yeah, it sits up there with our mouth open all the time, and we know why that is. But the thing is, it pretty much gets to a point where they realize that, yes, there's something crazy going on with Lars, and to help him, we all, including the whole town, needs to kind of be in on this and help him by treating this doll as if it really is his real girlfriend.
Now, the thing about this film is this is exactly the type of indie comedy that I tend to hate. I really hate the ones where it's like, hey, let's take a goofy, wacky idea and have an hour and a half of double takes and just be really edgy. And usually these things come across as mean-spirited, and they're making fun of middle America, and they think they're being, really heady and smart, and really they're just being smarmy. But this movie has a lot of heart. This movie is sweet and adorable, and actually it's a lovable film about a sex doll.
Okay, well, Leon?
No, you know what? I gotta agree with him, because I thought it would be that kind of smarmy film, like Pumpkin.
Yes.
Something where we're just gonna make fun of retarded people.
Yeah,
We're gonna make fun of the freaking retards.
We're gonna make fun of retards for an hour and a half and just have you laugh at that. After a while, it gets kind of tiring. But here, just the fact that the town, this is one of these stories that can only happen in a small town that's completely covered in snow, where the whole town gets behind him. Nobody makes fun of him. They all back him up. But it only worked because they were in such a town where nothing happened. People had nothing else to do. They're probably glad that he had this dog. It's like, Jesus Christ, I was going to suck on a shotgun, but now I can throw myself behind acting like this goddamn piece of plastic is real.
Okay, see, this is where I don't get you two, all right? And maybe you. I don't know what's wrong with you. But this is where I don't get you two. Lars is crazy, okay? The movie, now, the thing is, you accused me of wanting the movie to be mean, Carlisle, but that's not what I wanted. I didn't want this mean-spirited comedy. I don't want them to be picking on Lars, a retarded dude walking down the street. I actually think that's the strongest point of this movie, is that it is very sweet. But goddamn it gets to a point where the whole town is just wrapped up in this one crazy dude. And I'm just like, man, no, stop.
Okay.
This dude needs some help.
Okay.
What's wrong with you? You've been sitting up here all mad and quiet.
Said nothing. What's
I
going
can't
on?
take this anymore. This is one of the most haunting and beautiful stories of true love I have ever seen. The relationship between Lars and the girl, Bianca, is so true and so real, no pun intended. I was offended by the way the audience and you people reacted by laughing at this poor man's shame at having to deal with the way people couldn't handle it, the racism. This is just like when Data went on trial for not really being human. It's just like that.
Cyrus, I've got to ask. How is Julie doing?
Shut up, Carla.
And Janet.
Does she have all
April?
Does she have the wear and tear in all the usual places?
Well, I tell you, there is one really, truly great thing about real dolls, and
The hole?
You never have to worry about where they've been because you just pull that stuff out and bleach it and put it back in, and it's just
my
fine.
God.
You hose it off. You stick the hose up. You hit the faucet. You clean it right out.
Listen, this is probably not the best forum for this, but I gotta admit to you, I had sex with Janet.
Wait, which one?
This explains everything. No wonder everybody liked this movie. Am I the only one that's having sex with the non-plastic things here?
Well,
Not-
I've seen
I mean-
some of the girls you've dated.
I mean, I might have a rubber blow-up doll every now
Well, I mean, you think about it. You get one of these real dolls as a girlfriend. You ain't got to worry about it talking, which is like the main complaint most guys have with women. And sure, you might lay out $5,000 to get her there, but with a real girlfriend or a wife,
Exactly.
you're gonna spend at least twice that much.
The way I look at it, it's just like having sex with Pamela Anderson, except you don't have to talk to her.
It's like with a real girl, no matter what you do, even if you marry her, technically you're only renting another person, right? Because you have to keep pumping money into it. With a real doll, pow, bought, paid for, it's done.
It's funny because that was one of the things in this movie that cracked me up. It's like there's a point where he thinks Bianca is so real, he starts having arguments with her. And I'm like, well, goddamn, you think like the one advantage of having a real doll is that you skip this stage, and he's so into it, he's still having all the negative stuff too.
Well, that's because he's crazy as hell. Now, for guys like me, we don't argue with our real dolls, and even if we think we might, they're always ready for me to put something in their mouth to shut them up.
Point taken. That's actually
I know.
that's actually pretty reasonable there. But see, now that's the thing. Okay, there's a few reasons why I couldn't relate to this movie. First of all, Lars is you brought up a good point. He's arguing with the doll, and you're right. That's why we have these dolls, so you don't have to put up with that shit. Number two, Lars has a real flesh and blood, fine piece of ass throwing herself at him, and I'm like, that's how you know you crazy when you gonna pick a doll over this.
Dude,
right
I'm
here.
sorry. I'm sorry. That real life fine piece of ass. All of us know that eventually they're gonna be annoying. You're gonna roll over one day and look at her and just think, why don't you go home? I wish I'd never done this.
Even with
surrounded
her
by-
acting makeup on, she looks like Maggie Gyllenhaal without makeup.
Hey, I gotta say, I have found in my experience that any piece of ass that's throwing itself at one of us has many more problems than might, as
This is
Michael Bay
insanity.
might say, more than meets the eye.
I accepted the fact that even with a real woman, my credit card number is going to come into play at some point. So I might as well just get all that bullshit out of the way and just go,
This is so obvious why y'all love this movie. Because you are in love with the real doll.
I am this
You know what? I wasn't before, but as we sit here talking about it, I'm gonna go order one as soon as we're done.
Now, Corey, I need you to pull out. I need you to get a photo.
Nice choice of words.
I need you.
Way to go.
Freudian slip.
Well, Cyrus brought Janet over. We're gonna have a 5-way.
You're not touching Janet, okay?
Dude, she's real good at pulling trains.
Boy, y'all are...
She never complains.
I apologize to the public out there. This is insanity. I never pictured this going this direction.
You guys are okay with Janet, but not you, Corey. Last time it came back with stretch marks around her mouth. I'm not going to have that
So,
again.
I need you to pull out a clip or a picture or something, because you know what we haven't talked about? Rose McGowan was brilliant as the doll. Oh my God. I have never seen a more lifelike performance out of her. She was so real. And she just, it was the love between her and Gosling was just beautiful.
You can totally see why Robert Rodriguez left his wife and kids for her, really.
Oh,
It's
she don't
just-
give him no trouble.
So much personality.
You're right. That is probably the best performance I've seen her in. She was great.
Well, yeah, it's like a Rose McGowan that doesn't say stupid shit every 15 minutes.
She was incredible. I mean, this is Oscar-worthy performance here. She played a doll and just sat there lifelessly for an hour and a half. It was brilliant.
I tell you though, there's one thing that would have made this the best Halloween movie. It could have been the movie the whole way it is, and just the one shot at the end when he's sitting next to her, with the close up where her head actually turns towards him and looks at him. I would have screamed like a little girl, run out of the
See,
movie
I
theater.
didn't know anything about the movie. I just knew it was called Lars and the Real Girl, and I found it was a doll. I thought, like, okay, when's this dog gonna get up and start killing people?
Right?
And maybe that's why I'm disappointed.
It's the porno version of Child's Play.
Yeah.
Now, I've been told there's a lot of girls who want to see this movie just because they're so in love with Ryan Gosling. They just want to see anything he's in. And the funny thing to me was, like, I guess it looked like he gained a little weight for the role. And he's got that mustache.
That bad mustache.
Did he look to y'all like David Arquette? Because that's all I kept thinking the whole time.
From Scream.
If David Arquette was a child molester, that would be what Ryan Gosling. He had the molester stash. It was like, look, I know guys in the North don't have the most style, but dude, the stash.
The thing is, he is a crazy guy, but this is one of these movies. It's kind of like a Saving Grace or something like that. One of those cute, precious British comedies where the whole town comes together.
Yes.
A quaint little town pulls together to make something work. So, either for one person or for the whole town. It's one of those movies, except it's not an English film. But even so, that couldn't get me past. Like, there's a scene where he's like chopping wood and he's all pissed off in the middle of the night, and this girl's just screaming at him. It's like, bitch, the boy is crazy as hell.
I looked over at Leon. I said, "You don't want to be doing this while he's around an axe and his sharp object."
I'm gonna bash your fucking brains in.
Yeah, no, if he was my brother-in-law, he'd be chopping wood with a butter knife.
Yeah, exactly. Lars beating pudding, because he wouldn't be chopping anything. He wouldn't even have a butter knife in the house.
Lars goes to bed handcuffed.
No, I mean, the thing is, man, seriously, and by the way, if David Arquette's a child molester,
I know, exactly.
Dude, do you know who he's married to?
For
that
now.
don't change anything, yeah.
Yeah, check your watch.
They've
But no,
been married for like 10 years, dude.
but no,
That
the
is
thing
a record.
TikTok. But the thing is that no, man. I mean, I really did like the movie. But the novelty of this doll wore off for me, and the whole joke about everybody how they reacted to this doll. And then when you get into this second half, I mean, I'm not really even criticizing you guys for liking it, because it's one of those movies where you're gonna say, "Wow, that's really sweet," and I like this movie. They're gonna be like, "Lars is crazy as fuck," and I don't buy this. That second half of the movie where they send in an ambulance to help this doll out, and they call 911. Somebody across town is dying,
Now,
and they helping out a fucking doll.
No,
man.
no. Well, that's the thing. Because when they show the hospital, there was nothing going on.
There's
There weren't no
nobody
people
there.
dying.
We don't know that.
Dude, you can you not think in more than one direction? Come on, dude. This is the one thing that was never addressed. This doctor had visits with the doll every week. She gave up her precious time to have visits with the doll. They brought her into the hospital. They sent out an ambulance. You don't think to further the illusion that they gave this motherfucker a bill? You don't think that, that's $120 to go pick up a doll?
Yeah,
Yeah, if there was anything to make you stop being crazy, it'd be to get one of those $30,000 hospital bills.
And I doubt if Lars would have even done. Lars need to be in treatment. Lars
That
need-
would be
yeah.
the point, though, when he goes, "Don't y'all know I was just crazy? I'm not bearing this."
It would.
I was just fucking with you guys.
Yo, it would have been cool at the end of the movie. He was just like, "Damn, I didn't know it was gonna go this far." But no, I didn't believe. I thought the town was crazy. This is a type of movie where strangers come to this town and they don't leave. They're making sausage out of people who come to the town who don't live there.
It's the Wicker people.
Yeah, exactly. It's too crazy for me. But you know what? I did enjoy the movie, and I will give it a matinee because I do think it's entertaining. But that second half I enjoyed for a totally different reason than y'all did.
I think this is actually a matinee film too. I did really enjoy it, but I think it's kind of the second half slows down. It's not going to be for everyone. It's one of those more about what's not said that's cool about it, but I think that's going to escape almost everybody. So it's just a matinee for me. Plus, I don't like the way that you guys laughed at the relationship.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, be quiet. This is one of those movies where it could only work in a small town. Had it been Austin, they'd have thrown a butterfly net over that guy right off the bat. But, I'm still going to give it matinee. A high matinee, but yeah, at the same time, it's good. That's what I give it.
I'm really torn on matinee or full price here. I'm really kind of split the difference. It really is a full price movie for me. It was adorable.
Then give it full price.
Okay, you know what? Here, I'll give it full price just because. No, it's really a movie I'm considering going back and seeing again. I really adored the hell out of it. It was really sweet and I enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would.
I tell you what, they better not tell me where that town is where they buried that real dog. 'Cause that's like $8,000 for sweet love and just 6 feet under the ground. I'm going to get that.
That is something. You got to look at that and be like, damn, that was a real waste of money right there.
Yeah, I mean, where else can you have sex with a corpse legally?
And hey, well, you know what? That doll was never used.
That's true.
That's true.
It's still a virgin hole. I want. There's some. Back
Actually,
road.
change it around and say that doll was never used. Still a virgin song.
That doll was never used. It's still a virgin. There's some back roads to be plowed.
Dibs.